Welcome back. Sales video, Monday morning. Probably about 9 now. Have 24 orders going out for the price that you saw in the title, minus a little bit for the the international, which I'll show at the very end. It'll be screenshot at the end. I didn't ship out Saturday. Only had like 5 sales. It was like $120. Wasn't too pressed about those. A real nice sale, which you probably saw from the thumbnail. And yeah, let's go ahead and find out what these are. And if there's a cool story behind something, I'll go ahead and tell it as I'm there, as I'm here talking about it. All right, let's get going. Velvet Goldmine DVD, 15. So if you're new here, I round up or round down. This is 1478, so it's 15. If it was 1449, it would be 14. Not really a bigger book that I would typically buy to kind of sit around. I don't remember where I got this. It had been at least, maybe no more than $2. This one, yeah, it's been around 3-4 months or so, but I still got 45 for it. 4 or 5. Become Younger hardcover. Kind of reminds me of like some nootropics, which nootropics are age-defying supplements that you could take to help you age slower. But I don't think it'll make you become younger. But hardcover book, 31. Sledgehammer DVD set, 25. Blue's Clues Fred's Birthday DVD, $30. Glee, something specific. It was Glee Christmas album, season 4, sealed, 15. Maybe even more. It was actually less, 13. Set of these 4 Butter Pats, 20. So of the 50, 60, 70 or so sets of 4 that I had, I am down to 2 sets. 2 sets. They'll be gone. I actually sold 2 of them to 2 different people. So Lil Bow Wow CD, little digipack, 28. So this is an interesting one that I've had for a while. It's called Incubus Succubus. So as I'm sifting through CDs in a store or wherever I'm at, but typically in a store, and I'm sifting through them and I see something that, like this kind of just eyeballing off the quick is, I'm thinking that this is like a live performance, and live performances can do fairly well. And then it has MP3. Now, MP3 is the audio format. Now, to have MP3, because most of the times MP3 that I know, MP3 posted on some sort of case is going to indicate that it's an audio book in an MP3 audio format. So Incubus Succubus, to have this on here, is interesting because this is a very, very specific, and there's 2 in here, They kind of have this gold, more like a Bear Bright copper look to it. Bear Bright would be fresh copper that's like you could see in like your housing electrical wire. That's Bear Bright, isn't it? It's not oxidized or it hasn't been burnt or anything. So this actually has either several albums, and I believe that they are complete albums, or songs, or performances, or whichever. But to me, and then I didn't find anything specifically on. I gotta replace this door. I didn't find anything specifically on this. So it looks like it was a, just by the words appear, so like a Russian import. I may have that in the title. It's been a while since I've had this, but I got 110. And what I did to ensure that it would be worthwhile was I just looked up Incubus, Succubus, and looked in CDs, and their CDs sell. And then I went down and I typed in Incubus, Succubus, and then the titles that are back here, and I found the ones that sell for the most, and I made room in my actual title bar to put the more better selling titles in my title bar, so that when people are searching, they're finding that, and then they're like, oh man, that's completely different. Either way, took a year. I think it was about a year. I think this is the one I brought up and I showed my wife. I think it took a little over a year to sell. So will I pay a buck and change for a CD that will eventually sell in a year for $100? Yep. Well, 110. Sealed Comanche Warrior DVD. Don't shy away from like the A&E History Channel, Science Channel, some of that stuff, because when they make a DVD run, it's extremely limited, and a lot of this stuff you're not going to find in their art. Well, you'll find it in archives, but I don't know specifically because I don't go about trying to find it. But it's, once again, people want the physical copies. This was 31. Redeeming the Land, paperback book, 33. So if you pay attention to my sourcing videos, this was just sourced. It was listed the next day and sold within 12 hours for about what they've sold for, 60 to 65 bucks. This one sold for 61 pretty instantly, in consideration, pretty instantly. So paperback I paid less than $2 for, sold within 12 hours for 61 bucks. Lorna Doone DVD, 20. Pippi on the Run DVD, sealed, 21. These, again, just got these at the same store as that DMSO paperback that sold for 61. These listed, it wasn't difficult, but it was an undecisive type on how much I wanted to post them for. Using TerraPeak, if you type these up, prices are going to be all over the place. I wasn't going to go with like new. I did put in the little description box that they are better than very good, but not like new, and they were listed in a very good condition in the actual little condition option. Uh, yeah, did not take long. So on how I came up with the pricing, I don't remember which one, but the only ones listed are ones that are either like new or brand new. I forget which one it was. And the minimum price is like $500 for those ones. Looking at recently sold non-new, non-like new, some of them were. Again, I'm not remembering which one because one was cheaper than the other. So, however, I decided to price it. I found it to be fair. Two weren't even listed for 12 hours and sold to the same buyer. 538 combined. I have just the box for them too. Frenchman's Creek DVD, 15. These two old world map eyeglass cases, 22. Loving Leah DVD, $9. Not much. I probably didn't pay much for it to be at that. So this is a open one. So this will just go in a little plastic Mylar. And when I have open DVDs, for the most part, I'll put two of the shipping label backings, which then, when you peel the sticker off, it kind of coils up. And I'll put two, sometimes even three, in here and close it. And what that does is just adds a little bit more protection in there to help keep that there. It's better that than me just throwing them away. They get used one last time, I guess. So this will go in a little plastic. This will not go in a bubble wrap or a bubble mailer. Johnny Hates Jazz, 45 for $11. Not Without My Daughter DVD, $11. So this one is enough for me to put in a bubble mailer. It might just go in a Mylar as well. Texas Justice with Heather Locklear, 15. Drew's Disco Dance Hits. This Drew stuff, if you see him, just keep looking. Just keep on looking by. I got a bunch. There was probably 20 plus in a box. I remember where I got them at. Was that at the... Maybe that was at the miscellaneous farm. Like there was a whole box of these, and I got them. They were maybe less than $1 each, and I sold a couple I lotted together. But this is one that stood a chance to sell individually, and it eventually did, obviously, for this video, for $15. In another one of those kind of be on the lookout, which it's unlikely you'll really find out and about. This one, I believe I got at the Salvation Army up here in Mentor. I'd have to look at the date stamp to really refer to when. Probably well over a year ago. A very, very interesting one. It's either I got it there or I got it at the Goodwill on Lee Road, which is no longer there. They closed a couple months ago. It would have been way, way before they closed, though. So I'd have to look at the date stamp to really see. This is one that was listed pretty high, and it came down a little bit throughout the months. I still got $92. So for the not even complete 3 days yet, um, and again, if you're new here, my sales day ends pretty much right about 12, a little bit after 12, because the mail's here a little bit after 12. So when I'm giving prices or whichever my sales day restarts, when all my stuff is shipped out. So my sales day technically has not ended yet, because I can still finish this video, get to editing the little bit that needs edited out, and when I have the final version and the screenshot of what sold and what needs to be shipped out at that video, and I hit save for export, that's pretty much when it's done. And I usually don't send out anything else unless it's going to be like a 3-pound book that's going to Hawaii. That's going to have to go out that day regardless, because I want to make sure it's going to get there in that time frame. Or, something, I'll make that decision. But either way, that wraps that one up. That's a really good weekend. It'll be at the very end, but I'll say things like $12.75 for 24. Yeah. $12.75 for 24 orders, 1,211 total product cost received for those 24 orders, and just quick math, that's $50 average. So that's really good. I mean, $540 for 2 books is really good too. Oh, and there is one more thing. It's been sitting back here that I want to bring up in regard. So I didn't get enough yesterday for a sourcing video. I only got six things for a total of 1064. That's all I got yesterday. And there just wasn't enough for me to even lay them out and kind of talk about. But there's one very, very important thing, and I'm most likely not going out today because I'm going to resurface those discs. There's 17 17 individual cased ones. There's a handful of them that are double disc. So I have enough to do that and get some other stuff, and get the other things that I acquired. Disc media, because all the books are done. Disc media, and get that stuff up and posted for the day. And kind of relax, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those days is usually when I'm really going out and about, and I have somewhere I got to be Tuesday. So, without anyone really knowing this cover, and it is 8.4 and some change billion% chance that you don't. There's probably a handful of people on this planet that know this cover. And when I say the name of the artist, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I know who she is. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us, trying to make a way home. Joan Osborne Band. More people will just know Joan Osborne. This cover is very, 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 I'm not going to keep going, one-off cover. Because this is the promotional, or otherwise known as a demo tape, for when Joan recorded her first album called Soul Show in 1991 in New York. And then believe me, I had to look a lot of this stuff up. So she recorded that entire album. Its cover is quite a bit different. And those recordings were from that. Most of those songs from that album were from that specific instance, that specific live show that she had. And somewhere it was in New York. And Delta 88. It says somewhere in here, Delta 88, New York City. So from those recordings from a show that she did there was her first live show, according to this lure and canon, of the songs that she did there. There were 4 that were put on a demo tape. And this is a metal chrome tape. So this is probably, at minimum, it's a type 2. If it's a metal chrome, it's a type 4. So even at that, this tape itself is probably, for them to make this and send it out, this tape then, 30 plus years ago, was still probably $12 to buy a brand new one sealed. I'm talking like the blank tape that you would put in your audio equipment and record on was probably $10-12 then. So they want it, and then it just has a lot better sound. It's built a lot better, so on and so forth. So this is 4 of the songs that she recorded there, and this was sent out to a handful of record labels or radio stations. There's not many of these around. The CD, so I can go on why I kept looking. Right, so this is Joan Osborne Band. Nothing comes up. I said a couple videos ago. It's a known enough name to where you're typing something up and it doesn't come up. Now it comes up as CD in Terapeak, and I think one did recently sell for like $70 for a CD. But that is the full CD. That is not the demo tape. So this, I'm going to command $200, $254, not $254, $250, give or take. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and all I could really find for any copies of this specific one, 0. It is absolutely legit. There's no other pictures of what I could see of the sticker here. So it's a big enough name, or well enough known name, that something wasn't coming up, let alone in tape. I'm going to spend 99 cents on it. And I'm just going to come home, look stuff up, find some more information, hence this story. Some of what I just said may not be 100% true and accurate. I'm trying to remember what I did look up. There may have been 5,000 of them made. I don't know. But if there were that many, something would surely have come up. And I hit Google page 5 trying to find just this in a tape form. Couldn't find anything. CDs? Yes. Tape? No. So for the CD itself, which is a full album CD, full song list, I think there are 11 songs on it, sell for $60 to $70. Not really many through Terapeak. It's enough. So I'll buy this for $1, and I'll post it for $200 to $300, and just kind of see what happens. See what happens, because it's rare enough for those collectors, and believe me, there's plenty. And she's still, I don't quite go like super relevant. Another one of those 90s, obviously 1991, those 90s chick rock artists. I don't know if she was in Lilith Fair, but a lot of that chick rock, right? So cool story behind this one. And this is why I go out and I find the physical media. To be somewhat privy in band and band names definitely helps. I'm not the music person either. I just have a penchant to remember things sometimes, because if not, then I'm just not remembering accurately. But when it comes down to stuff like this, some generational, my generation, tend to remember. Now, do I remember a lot of like gospel and country that was out in that time frame? No, because I didn't really listen to that stuff. I listened to 90s alternative mainly. And then a lot of 60s and 70s, mostly rock. And of that rock, I dug the more instrumental and the more electronic sound, not current electronica, the electronic sound. So like ELO, Chicago, and I hear a train coming. And a lot of and of course the bigger bands, Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, the Who, Asia, and we're getting into more like Procol Harum, those kinds of ones that just had a really, really interesting, funky beat, and especially ones that could really take an instrument and just make a sound that you just never really heard, and then make a lot of songs out of that. So I'm rambling. Video is 30 minutes. Gonna do a little bit of chopping. Did have quite a few things to go through. But yeah, it was a really good weekend, and I'm going to get those discs resurfaced, and then I'll have about another 40 listings that are going to go up today, and kind of straighten up. So, like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, let me know down below with some comments. Thumb your thingy up. Only one, because if you do it twice, it takes the one away. Subscribe, share, everything helps. Appreciate it. Thank you.